Welcome students. In this session, we will write algorithms and flowcharts for the problems which requires repetitive constructs. So let us try to first understand what repetitive constructs is. Okay, so repetitive construct means we call them it to be sometime repetitive or a iterative or a loop. Sometimes we denote it as a looping, iteration or repetition. So basically the word here repetition or a repetitive means what? Doing the certain things again and again, right? We are going to repeat the things, certain things in the sense here with respect to algorithms or the flowcharts means the steps which are written in order to solve the given problem. Certain steps we will keep on executing multiple times. Okay, repeatedly we will keep on executing multiple times, and this multiple times execution should happen based upon certain conditions. It shouldn't be like a repetition of the steps execution should continue infinite, right? That shouldn't happen because the problem should never go into infinite loops or infinite steps. There should be a finite number of steps, correct? So keeping in mind, we have to have certain conditions. We will have to have certain conditions. Based upon that conditions, we are going to repeat or iterate or loop, that is execute the certain steps multiple times. That is, certain solution requires repeated execution based upon the conditions. There are different subcategories or the constructs for the repetition. They are called as while, do while and repeat for. Repeat for sometimes we call it to be just a for. Okay, just remember these things. We will require all these constructs when we study the programming languages. In the C programming, we will study the programming statements. Okay, now as of now, for the algorithms and the flowcharts, we are going to focus only on the third part, that is for, repeat for. I will take certain examples, that is problems which can be solved using for construct or repeat for constructs. Okay, fine. The first example here, I have taken it to be very simple, very simple, right? So what it is, write an algorithm and draw the flowchart to display your name 10 times, right? Just to give a example here, you might have during your childhood, that is during your school days, you might have got a punishment from your teacher saying that write your name 10 times or write your name 100 times, right? What you used to do, you used to write those your names, or it could be any sentences or any answer to a particular question, those many times in a notebook, right? Now a similar thing we can try to do in a programming language by writing the particular program. Before writing the program, we have to write an algorithm, or we have to find out a solution, how we have to write this particular solution. Here again you see we are going to display your name 10 times. Means, aren't we doing the displaying your name 10 times? Means we're repeating one particular step. What is that step? Repeating the, right, that is outputting your name, okay, multiple times. Multiple times means how many here? Here it to be a 10 times, right? So we can write the algorithm here. So first step as usual, the start. Second here, what we need to have? We need to have the name, right? That name we are going to write it 10 times, or we are going to display that name 10 times. More properly, we are going to display that name 10 times. So the input should be what? Step 2, input name. That name is your name probably here, right? So now comes the very important thing. We need to repeat certain steps, okay, that have to be executed multiple times. That is, we need to output the name, okay, how many times? 10 times. If you just recollect, in one of the session we have studied different symbols, okay, for writing or for drawing the flowcharts. One among that is the preparation symbol, right? So that I will display you once I am writing the flowchart, but the similar concept we have to make use in the algorithm. The similar concept in the algorithm is repeat for. So what we are going to do in the step 3 is that we are going to repeat, okay, for some duration. That duration is what? In order to take that duration, we are going to keep one counter, a counter which will count how many times we are repeating the steps. Okay, now you just try to understand this step number 3. Repeat for count equal to 1 to 10. That means I'm considering one kind of a placeholder, okay, or a moderator which will keep track of the how many times I'm repeating this. Right? Since I want to repeat it for 10 times, that is starting from 1 to 10, that is 10 times I need to repeat it. So initially the count will be 1. Since count is 1 means first time I am going to display the name. So display name means what? The step should be, the corresponding sub step should be what? Output name. So I will be writing output name. Okay, now initially count was 1, then what I did, output name I did. Now what has to be done? This output step has to be executed again, right? How many times? For remaining 9 times. So next time what I will do, this counter I will increment it to next number. That next number is what? Between 1 to 10, what is the next integer number? 2 is the number. So now count becomes 2. Count becomes 2. So for the second time, I am going to do what? I am going to again execute the same step, that is output name. So name will be displayed second time. Then again next what I will do? I will increment the count to the next possible integer number, that is here 3. So now count will be having 3. That means for the third time I am going to repeat the same statement, that is output name. So like this I will keep on incrementing the count value, right? How long I have to increment? That depends upon the range here, that is 1 to 10. So when count has become 10 means I am repeating it for the 10th time. So 10th time I am displaying my name here, that is output name. So 10th time, 10 times this particular statement would have been executed. Okay, now what happens? The count again it increments, so count value will become now 11 this time, right? Count value becomes 11. But when it comes back and try to check that one, is that count, is it 1 to 10? No, because the count is 11 now. So the count value has exceeded the number of times I have to repeat for. So now repeat for what has done? The repeat for count has taken all the possible values from 1 to 10, that is exactly 10 times. So 10 times I have executed this particular statement. What is the statement here? Output name means I have displayed the name 10 times. After the 10th time, when count becomes 11, it is out of this particular bonds, that is 1 to 10, right? 11 is greater than this 10, so the condition here becomes false. So I have to skip from this repetition of the work. Okay, so skip means I have provided tried to provide the solution for the given problem. I have displayed the name 10 times. Okay, then the next step should be what? Stop. Now let us try to elaborate more the working of this repeat for with the corresponding flowchart here. Okay, now step 1 is start. So within a oval you write it to be a start. Then next step is the input. So for the input it is a parallelogram, and within the parallelogram write input name. Okay, now next is the step is repeat for. So for the repeat for, that is for the repeat for construct, the corresponding symbol is preparation symbol. So that preparation symbol is a kind of a hexagon, how we write like this, right? So this is the shape or the symbol that has to be used, which is called as a basically a preparation, right? So now what it contains the same words which are mentioned in the step 3 here. Repeat for count equal to 1 to 10. Repeat for count equal to 1 to 10. Right? So that means what? So initially count will be 1. So initially count will be 1. Okay. Now what I have to do? I have to output name. That means I will be writing a statement now. Corresponding diagram is what? The output name, that is parallelogram. Correct? So output name I will do. So first time I have displayed my name. Next, what has to be done? Now this count, as I said, count value, I have to take the next value between this particular range. The range is what? 1 to 10. Range is 1 to 10. So in 1 to 10, first number is taken. The next value of count I have to choose for. What is the next value of count? 2. To represent that step or that process, what we will do is that we will make use of a circle, and in that circle we will write next count. So this next count indicates that the next value of the corresponding count has to be taken. So now it is 1. The next value of count in the range from 1 to 10 is what? 2. So now I will choose, or the count will turn to be a 2 now. Again I have to execute this output name, right? So the control, that is the flow of execution, will again come back to the repeat statement. So you will find here a dotted lines. What this dotted or a dashed line indicates that next count what I have taken, for that particular count value, let us check the condition which is there in the repeat for. In the repeat for, actually we will be having a condition. That condition here nothing but the range. That is how many times we have to repeat the statements. The range, what it specifies here, count equal to 1 to 10. So range is 1 to 10. But what is the value of count now? It is 2 right now. Is this 2 falls under the range 1 to 10? Yes, absolutely. The 2 falls under 1 to 10 range. That means what has to be done? Then again execute this output name. Execute output name. So again second time I will display the name. Second time name will be displayed. Right? If you notice, the name displaying has been done 2 times so far. So after displaying the name, what is the next thing has to be done? Take the next value of count. So in the range 1 to 10, currently the value of next is what? 2. So what is the next possible value of 3? That is count. It is 3. So the count will have the value 3. 3 means third time I am going to do certain activities, certain steps, execution, right? So again the dotted line indicates that again it comes back and comes to this repeat for statement. So repeat for count equal to 1 to 10. So currently value of count is 3. Is this 3 lies between 1 to 10? Yes, it lies between 1 to 10. Right? The condition is still true. What has to be done? Again do the output operation. That is, output operation is what here? Output name. So third time name is being displayed. Okay. Once that is done, then take the next possible value of the count. So next possible value of count is what? 4. Right? The next possible value of count is 4. Then once that is done, again come back and do the verification at the repeat for. So in the repeat for, is this particular count value, that is 4, is it lying between 1 to 10? Yes, absolutely. The 4 is between 1 to 10. Condition is true. Then what has to be done? Then again do the output name. Okay, display the name for the time and take the next value of count. Next value of count will be 5 here. So for the 5th time it is going to do. So like this you keep on doing the things. How many times? Let us see the last instance here. So now suppose count becomes 10. Count becomes 10 now. Count value is 10. That is Okay, count value is 10. So is that count 1 to 10? That is count is 10. So is that 10 lying between 1 to 10? Yes. So 10th time you display the output, that is name. So the name will be displayed for the 10th time. The next value of the count will be what? 11. Okay, since you just keep on incrementing, means increment means add one number to the existing number. So that is 10 becomes 11. 11 means now count becomes 11. So come back to the loop again. Come back to the loop again. Then try to check the condition here. So now here the condition is what? Count should be between 1 to 10. But what is the value of count now? It is 11. Value of count is 11. So is 11 false between 1 to 10? No. Now condition becomes false here. Right? The count value is 11 now, but the count is trying to monitor from 1 to 10 values itself. Okay, but the current value of the present value of count is 11. That means the condition becomes false here. So when the condition becomes false, then what has to be done? Definitely it should not execute these things. It should not execute. Okay, it should go outside of the for loop. So outside of the for means what? After this step 3, what we have? Stop means once the condition becomes false, it has to stop. Okay, once the condition becomes false, it has to stop. So for the false value, it comes over here and becomes false. If the condition becomes true, then it will repeat the execution of the certain steps. If you notice here, the solution, the problem solution is what? We need to display your name for 10 times. So what we did, we just took use of the one particular counter. What this counter will try to do? It will keep on incrementing. Incrementing means adding one value to the existing value. So how many times? Since we want it to be 10 times, so from 1 to 10 times we kept on incrementing. Okay, each time we were executing same statement. If you see this particular step, okay, that is output name, was repeatedly executed. How many times? Based upon the times or the repetition mentioned in this particular for construct. So 10 times we could able to display the names. Once the count becomes 11, okay, after the 10, the next increment value is 11. So when this particular count becomes 11, the condition will get fail because the count has to be 1 to 10 if you want to execute this output statement. But the count value now will be what? 11. So if it is 11 means the condition is false. So you skip the execution of these statements or the steps, come out and do the next step. So next step is what? Stop. Okay, that's how we have made use of a repetitive construct called as repeat for. Okay, this is one of the repetition statement, repeat for. Okay, wherein the execution of certain steps here, that is output. Okay, this we repeated for how many times? For 1 to 10 times. That is totally 10 times we could able to repeat it. Okay, yes. Let's take some other example and try to understand the concept more clearly. So the second example is what? Okay, again, display numbers from 1 to n. Display numbers from 1 to n means, suppose if I say for an example, say if I write n value as 4, n value as 4, what has to be done? The algorithm should have a solution which will display numbers from 1 to n. That n value here is 4. So in this case it should display 1, then it should display 2, then it should display 3, then it should display 4. From 1 to 4 it should display when the user provides n value as 4. Or else, suppose if the user has entered say 100, if user has entered 100, then what it should do? It should keep on displaying the numbers starting from what? Starting from 1. So 1, then 2, bear with the word numbers here, then 3, and keep on displaying the numbers like this How many times? 100 times. That is, once the number becomes 100, then stop repeating those particular steps. So when the n value is 100, it has to display from 1 to 100. Okay, like this, in order to get this particular solution, let us try to see how we shall write the how we can the algorithm. Step 1, that is start. Step 2 is the input. That input here is the value of n, right? Since we want to display numbers from 1 to n, so this n is something which is varies, right? Based upon what a user says, 1 to 10 or a 1 to 100 or 1 to 5, whatever that particular number. So that n we will capture in the n over here, input value. So the next step, that is third step, should be what? We should repeat here, right? So repeat for what? Since we are repeating, we should require a counter. So that counter, I will take it to be a count here. How many times I should repeat? I should repeat from 1 to n. So the step 3 will be repeat for count equals to 1 to n. Since I want to display the numbers from 1 to n, so I should be repeating for the same duration, that is 1 to n. Okay, and to monitor that counting, I will be using a placeholder or something called as an counter or a count here. So each time when I repeat, I should display a number here. Okay, so what I should display? The number, if you just check, first time it is 1, second time it is 2, third time it is 3. If I want to display numbers from 1 to, if I want to display numbers from 1 to 5, say 1, okay, then next is 2, then 3, then 4, okay, and 5. Say, assuming that the entered n value is 5, the user has taken n value as 5, that means I have to display from 1 to 5. First time, okay, now let us see here. Repeat for count equal to 1 to n. So initially count value is what? Count value is 1, right? Initially count value is 1. So for this particular 1 value, okay, I have to display the same number 1 here. Next time what will happen? Count will take the next value, okay, and then it will try to check whether it lies in the given boundaries, that is 1 to 5, right? Then if it is so, then display that. So every time I need to display a number, and every time, if you notice here, that number keeps on changing. Initially it is 1, next it is 2, next it is 3, 4 and 5, right? So who will have these particular numbers? The count will have that particular numbers. So the output, I need to do it to be a count. Output count. Okay, I will elaborately explain this with respect to a flowchart once I draw the flowchart here. Okay, then last step will be stop. Okay, yes, the first step is start, second step is the input here, that is input n I have taken, then repeat for count equal to 1 to n. Since it is a repeat for, I have to draw a symbol called as preparation, and within that preparation I have to write these particular words. Repeat for count equals to 1 to n. Repeat for count equals to 1 to n. What I have to repeat? I have to repeat displaying the values of the count here. Since the problem is we need to display the numbers from what? From 1 to n values. So initially count will be having 1 value. So output count. So initially count is 1. So I display 1 here. Okay. Then I take the next value. Say next value is what? Of count is what? 2. So next count and then a dotted line and then connect back to the repeat statement. So here, okay, in this case again the count becomes now 2 here. Okay, in the next count, the next possible value of count, that is 2. So 2. So count equal to 1 to n. So current value of 2 is what? Count is what? 2. Is this 2 lies between the 1 and n? So for an example here, n is what? N is 5. N is 5. So is this count value 2 lies between 1 to 5? Yes, lies between 1 to 5. Then display that particular number. That number is what? Count. So you display the 2. So 2 will be displayed. 1 is displayed. 1 was displayed earlier. Now 2 is displayed. The next is what? Next count. So next count means what? The value will be 3. Okay, for the 3 again you come back here and try to check the repeat for condition. In the repeat for condition is what? Count should have the value between 1 to 5. Current value of count is what? 3. So is this 3 between 1 to 5? Yes, it is true. What has to be done? Then do the output of count. Output of count means what? Display count. So 3 will get displayed. Correct? 3 will get displayed. The next step is what here? Sub step is what? Next count. So the next count is what? The 4 value. Next count is 4 value. So then again come back and try to check the repeat for statement. Okay. Count should have value between 1 to 5. So present value of count is what? 4. Yes, 4 is one among the value between 1 to 5. That is condition is true. So you display again count value. So the count will be displayed again. Count will be displayed again. Then again go to the next count. In the next count, what is the what will be the value of next count here? It will be 5. It will be 5 here. Okay. Now come back to the again repeat for statement here. So in the repeat for statement, what we have? Count should be 1 to 5 in order to execute this, in order to execute the output count. So present value of count is 5. Is this 5 lies between the 1 to 5? Yes, it is true. Since it is true, what has to be done? Again output count has to be done. So 5 you have to display. So 5 is again displayed. Okay, next step is what? Step count. So next count means the value of count will be what? 6. Value of count will be 6. Then again come back here and try to check the repeat for. In the repeat for, the condition is count should have the value between 1 to 5. But what is the value of count now? It is 6 here. It is 6 here. So is this 6 lies between 1 to 5? No. Condition is false. That means what? You have to skip this part. Skip this part. Then go to the other part. So other part is what? Next goes to the stop. So if you notice here, what we have done, we try to display the numbers. We try to display the numbers from 1 up to the given number. The given number here is what? N, that is 5. From 1 to 5, we could able to display the numbers. So repeatedly displaying of this number has, we could able to repeatedly display or repeatedly execute certain statements. These statements, that is output next, is repeatedly executed. How many times it is executed? Until the condition becomes false. Okay. This is another example. The third example, very quickly I will show you. In the third example, what we are trying to do, display the numbers from M to N. Display the numbers from M to N. So earlier it was 1 to N, now it will be M to N. So if you notice here, input M comma N. So input is M and N. Between M and N, say if you say M is say 4 and N is say 7. Between 4 and 7 I want to display the numbers. So it will be what? 4, 5, 6, 7. So these 4 numbers I want to display, from 4 up to 7 numbers. Correct? So step repeat for count 4, that is M to N it will be. Repeat for count, and whose count value will be what? Starting number 4 and the ending number 7. So with these particular values I am going to display the numbers. Which will hold these particular numbers? The count will be holding the numbers. So output count will be done and then stop. Let us see the flow chart here. Okay. Now input that is, first is the start within an vowel, then parallelogram input m comma n, and third we need to repeat for count equal to m to n. So repeat for count equal to m to n. For with respect to this example, it is 4 and 7. Let us take the same example, 4 to 7. So now the count value is what? Initial value is m. So initial value m means what? It is 4. Initial value is 4. So is this 4 value is between say m is 4 here, m is 4 and n is 7. N is 7. So is this 4 belongs to 4 to 7? Yes, condition is true. Since condition is true, what has to be done? Display it. What to display? That is output count. So 4 is displayed. 4 is displayed. Then what has to be done? Take the next value of count. So next count. So the count becomes 5. Count becomes 5. Since count becomes 5, come back to the repeat check. So again come back here and try to check the condition. So this time count is what? 5. Is this 5, is it between m to n? That is it between 4 to 7? Yes, it is 4 to 7. So what has to be done? So execute the output count. So display 5. Display 5. The next value of count is what? It is 6. So take the sixth value. Okay. Now since the count value is 6, the next value is 6, then again come back and try to check the condition in the repeat for statement. In the repeat for, count is equals to 4 to 7. So is this 6? Is it belongs to 4 to 7? Yes, condition is true. What has to be done again? Output it. So 6 is outputted, or that is displayed. Okay, then next count. Next count means next value of count. So after 6 it is going to be 7, right? Then again come back here, try to check the condition. So the condition is count value is 7. Is that 7 belongs to 4 to 7 range? Yes, it does belongs to 4 to 7 range. So display it. You display the statement and then go to the next statement, that is next count. So this time the value of count is going to be 8. Correct? So is this 8 belongs to the given range? Is it belong to 4 to 7? No. Value of count is 8, but it doesn't belong to 4 to 7 here. It doesn't belong to 4 to 7. So you don't display it. You don't display. Means this step will be skipped and then it will go to the other step, that is to the stop. It will get stopped. So here in this example, very simple examples, what we have found that if we wish to execute certain steps, okay, multiple times, repeatedly, if you wish to execute, then what has to be done? It has to be taken in the repeat for statements. So this repeat for construct will allow us to repeat from one value to the other value. Means between a given range, it allows us to execute certain steps repeatedly until that range holds good, until the range is true. It allows us to repeat the statements repeatedly. If the condition becomes false, it skips that statement and comes out of the loop or out of the repetition block. Okay, I hope these simple examples are understood, students. We will see few more examples with respect to repeat for in the next session. I hope these examples are understood. If there are any doubts, please comment in the YouTube video. I will get back to you with the answers. Thank you, students.